Hello, beloveds. This is Steph Parasha, Divine Light, coming out to you from New Zealand, Aotearoa, with some really big messages and some big energies as I am recording this message on the night of the 11th of December. And I realised tomorrow is going to be 12/12, the 12th of December. And it is also Gemini Full Moon. And so there's just a lot of stuff, and we're heading into 2020, we're coming up to Christmas. So much is shifting, so much that we've been preparing for. Some of the themes coming through, I really want to talk to you about those, and it's a lot of information. Again, I've sat suddenly and had this really big download, and I've channeled a lot of information. Some of it I've managed to capture and write down on a bit of paper, but some of it is still kind of flowing through. And this information is for all good people who come to listen to this channel for whatever reason, whatever you're about. It doesn't matter, because this is a universal message with a universal heart and universal energy that is of positive light and upliftment. So I hope that you receive these messages. You'll see that I give these messages, what you could say in some ways is for free, but that is just a way of putting yourself into a difference of whether it's free or paid. It doesn't matter, because the energy is what's important. So the energy comes kind of background. So I've been getting a lot of these sort of really different dimensional looks, views at how we can sort of do things from a scientific and mathematical point of view. That's quite a little bit hard for my brain to understand, because it feels very much like my left and right brains are trying to sort of make sense and trying to come into the middle so that I can explain the energies that I'm feeling. So I'm just going to start reading out what some of the things are that I've written, and hopefully it'll come back to me. So gaining our power back. So it feels like there's a large number of people that have been in roles where they may have been a bit downtrodden or abused or betrayed, and feeling kind of downtrodden in some way, where you feel like you're in a lower vibration and powerless and a little bit so it could be that victim mentality. So that is where people are shifting out of really powerfully and finding their power again. And so there's a whole group of people doing this piece of work right now, and that big chunk of people that have been doing a lot of this work, and there are people that I'm seeing, and this is kind of a spiritual emotional evolution, right? So where those two things are intertwining. So and it's obviously in the physical reality as well. So we're talking about people that are probably born in the 1970s and the 1980s, maybe some early 90s children, but I'm feeling they are from maybe another realm. So the 70s and 80s children, they're the ones now that are in their 40s and their 30s, and maybe the 1960s might be a bit of them as well. That have got that position of power now, so we're able to use our voice and use our authority and our wisdom and our age in the current way that our society is organized, that puts us in an advantageous position of which we can really influence. And that whole power thing, it feels like it's really tipping. The balance has been trying to come into balance for a long time, and all the different directions, north, south, east, west, up, down, above, below, side to side, all the polarities we're working out, and I've seen that playing out here in nature in New Zealand in the last week. We have had some really intense energy with our big storm that came through the area that I live, and sort of a little bit south of me was really flooded, and roads were cut off, and just the rain was so full on. Like, I've never seen so much rain. And so that was a really, and storm, thunder and lightning that went with that as well. Big energies of just a whole day of storming. And that was on last Sunday. And then this week, I think Tuesday, at the time of 2:11 p.m, one of our islands, that's a volcano, blew up and erupted. So you may or may not have heard this news. And like, wow, in 1 week, these really intense, we've got the water, the rain, like so much rain. And then we've got the fire of this angry, we've got the tears and the anger and the emotions of this mother that we call here in Aotearoa, we call Papatuanuku, who is the goddess of earth, and we have Ranginui, who is the father, the sky father. So that's sort of meeting each other too. The sky brings the water and the rains and the clouds onto the earth, kisses the earth, and she activates, and this fire comes in. And I kind of had thought the crown chakra is where I was feeling that fire from the energy of this volcano, but I'm now feeling it more in my belly. And so I get the solar plexus is really activated for a lot of people. This has been going on for many number of years now with all of our digestive systems that cannot generally tolerate, and this is a big generalization. Don't worry if you don't exactly fall into this category. It's just a large number that I see a theme of being vegetarian, being vegan, being, really focused on the animals and animal welfare. There's a big group of us that are into that. And we have become more plant-based in our diets, and kind of going into the no sugar, gluten-free, and sort of all those diets, where you're really cleansing out and detoxing the body, and that could be coming out in many of the chakras actually. That's where I've been feeling it, and sort of finding that I had to be very, very conscious of the nutrition and what I'm putting in my mouth that goes down into my stomach. And so I've just written something here about time equals vibration. So that has been a message that I've been getting for the last few months now, just really paying attention to the vibration being the energy in which you will move through time, if you want to call it that, or just how you move yourself from one place to the other, because that is the measurement of time, is what's important. So it's the how you're doing what you're doing and setting the vibration, and so that obviously creates your future from that, your whatever vibration that you're in. And if that's how you want to measure time. And I start to get a little bit twisted in my brain when I start getting into these theories, because I'm not that scientific or mathematical. So that involves, when you're in that different vibration, when you're operating from that space, you are kind of operating from a different, what I'm getting they're saying is a different processing system. It's like, our computers, how, we started off with just these basic computers, and then they developed all the software and all the words that we never had, RAM and GB and data, and this is the 70s and the 80s kids. We never had that stuff, and see how that's all changing, and how that's also a form of measurement. And so that's that science part of how we're kind of moving through our world in that way. And yeah, where was I going with that? That was a very random piece of information. I hope somebody else can decipher that, because I kind of get it, but it feels like pieces of a puzzle. And that's what the balancing out is too. It's a lot of to do with the twin flame and journey, and the light worker journey is balancing yourself, balancing your own inner masculine and feminine, your own polarities of where you may go from one extreme to the other with your thoughts, or so then, and that is also the yin and the yang, obviously. Again, reminder of the Gemini full moon that this is, which is very much the energy of the twin full moon. And the information I'm getting about that is that's about relationship, and we are very much focused on the relationship as part of the twin flame journey, and learning as much as we can. And I also follow another coach, I don't call myself a coach, I guess another YouTuber, and he is a relationship coach, and he's very, very cool. And I hope he won't mind that I do say his name here, because if I'm saying it's obviously because I'm giving him praise and recommending him to listen to, because of the way he explains about relationships and relationship with the self and relationship with the other. And he kind of comes from he's trying to reach a large number of people, which is great. He's covering all those women that are looking for men and dating and sort of understanding the dating realm. So I found his work extremely helpful, and just his language and the way he speaks and his compassion and where he sits in that revolutionary change of our emotional intelligence and our, that's in spiritual terms is what we would call ascension, but what the some other people would, and this is where we meet each other, would call emotional maturity or presence. This is where we're all meeting each other. We're all creating this beautiful web. And what I'm getting for 2020 is that the power and the ushering in of the new earth is being handed over, and it's now in our hands. And when I first heard that message come through, I just freaked out. Like, I felt so emotional, but I've kind of grounded it in now, and I'm just like, yeah, we've been told that's our time, and we've been preparing for this, and we've been getting the messages and the numbers and the symbols and the signs and the synchronicities, and we've doubted ourselves and we've had faith again, and we've still tried to connect, and we've had to get through a lot of fear and a lot of pain and a lot of processing, a lot of trauma to get where we are now, and we're still doing that. And before I go into my next thing that I have actually got written down, so I will not forget it, I just want to say something about my twin flame. I knew if I went off I might forget what I was going to say. I think I wanted to say, I'm just going to go here with this, that the Gemini full moon was when this was 2015, that I met my twin flame, and we met each other in October. And I'm sure if you go back in some calendars, you'll see that it was either October or November of 2015 that was a Gemini full moon. And so we had a night where that was the night that we had planned a party, and it was a full moon party, and we had some instruments, and we were going to play music and sit around by the fire and probably smoke a bit of weed. And we all sat around, and we got there, and we were waiting for people, and nobody showed up. It was just him and me. And so we started playing some instruments, and one thing led to another, and we had this amazing connection over this piano accordion, and it was just him playing it first, and the music was just making me mesmerized, and I was going into this really kind of trance-like state just listening to him play this kind of old gypsy past life that I've had. And anyway, then he asked me to play with him, and he wanted me to play the black and him to play the white, or maybe it was the other way around, it doesn't matter, and make music together. And I was like, I have no idea how to play, I don't really know anything. And he said, just press it, just keep pressing it. So I was just pressing these chords, these keys, and the most amazing music was coming out, and I had no idea what and how that was happening. And it was like the black and the white was like us intertwining. The way we had to connect with the music, it was like the music and I could see our DNA sort of twisting together, and then this beautiful golden light from my heart, and then it was a eternity symbol, and it went into his, and I just was like blown away by the most amazing love that I'd ever felt in my heart, or I couldn't even describe it as love, because it was something beyond that. It was just amazing energy that just blew me away and just connected us. And that was what I'd have to say was when I had energetic union with my twin. Of course, I was meeting him in the physical. And so, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my twin flame relationship in terms of where I see it. And I see, again, there is a kind of another polarity of twin flames that are in union. And there are some great twin flames in union out there, some that are on YouTube that I follow that I think are amazing. And I just love it when twin flames in union are able to share what they're going through, and some of them are great. And again, I'm hoping it's okay me doing this, but I do want to have a big shout out to Rob and Angie, because I just think those two are just so real and amazing, and I just wish I could hang out with them someday and have a cup of tea and sit by the fire and share stories and just energy and do some crazy, stuff together. And I'm all the way over here in New Zealand, so that's how it must be. Anyway, and then there's the twin flames on one side that are in union, so those guys, and then we've got the other end, which are twin flames that are in absolute separation, that have not had any communication from their twin. There's been some kind of cut off, that where one's cut off the other, or it's very difficult to experience some kind of physical contact with them. It could also be in that department, although I'm not seeing them the same as this, and maybe it's a different polarity. It's more a trinity triangle, those twins that have had their twin flame pass away. And then there's the twins in the middle that are kind of like friends to some degree and chatting. And I kind of feel like I'm in the middle of this polarity, and my twin flame is my beautiful friend. And I love him very much, of course, and he has a partner at the moment. And during last week, I had a dream about him, and he was trying to talk to me in the dream and tell me some stuff that I had to decode, and then I decoded it and figured it out. And then I sent it to him and didn't say what the dream was, but I sent a message to him to say I dreamed about him and it was time to catch up. And prior to that, he'd also sent me some really funny things that he's been up to that had got captured on film, and I won't say any more than that because I don't want to give away too much about the identity of my twin. But it was just cool to see him, and it also kind of brought some stuff up for me to see him on film. And yeah, it was just interesting. And anyway, I don't know why I'm going off on that random tangent, but that I know that Angie would be one to say we're tangenty. So the other thing that happened was I got a kind of message to do a bit of a cleanse in my house with a bit of sage, because we're getting to the end of the year, and just to start really consciously taking the time to consider at this full moon, like doing stuff such as rituals, maybe writing up some plans for, or things that you want to actually get rid of. That's usually what the full moon is. It's just kind of a time to cleanse and clear and get rid of stuff and have a bit of a clean out. Energetically, I went around the house with the sage, and then the alarm went off, the fire alarm, and I was like, oh my God. And it gave me such a fright. And then I thought, cleansing, but just a reminder that just to be on alert, and we've had that for a long time. There's been a lot of sort of alert things that go on for whatever reason, but always remember your spiritual role in that, in those times, and at any time, consciously every time, what you're bringing with your energy and your spirituality and your knowledge and your wisdom, because this is really our turn to have a try at, and being given the opportunity to be leaders at the moment and step up and show the way, be the light, be the love, be all of those things, and wherever opportunity you can. So at the moment, I think I am going to leave it there. How much time have I been talking? Okay, it's not too bad. So I may or may not, after this message, I'd like to get this uploaded by the 12th of December to wish you all a happy 12/12. If I get time, I may do a card reading. So I'll just do one card for us all, twin flames. What's the generalized message? And also don't forget, if I don't talk to you before Christmas, to have a really beautiful Christmas. Try and make it about connection with others, spending the time to connect and to again bring that light and that love into the situation, and calmness and peace and harmony. And New Year's, if I don't talk to you all before then, I wish you an amazing entry into this beautiful new era, the 2020. It's going to be so cool, and I hope you can make time to celebrate in some special way, in a sacred way, always in a conscious way, and just be really mindful of this new decade, that old decade that we're saying goodbye to. Be really clear about the goodbye and the getting rid of, and over the next few weeks, and clearing out what you no longer need, and being really conscious about what you're bringing into the new year. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now, and if I don't have another little stint after this, I will wish you from here just a whole lot of love, and thank you so much for listening, and I'm sure you'll hear from me soon. Okay, bye for now. Okay, quick hello back again. Just giving you a real super fast reading from cards that I pulled from Christabel Jessica's Masculine and Feminine Reunited. So I just wanted to just bring through what was coming when I asked from Spirit some guidance for twin flames around the energies. Now, I do not want to fall too heavily into the notion of male and female representing the respective masculine and feminine, as we know already that when we talk about the masculine and feminine, we're talking about energies, we're not talking about the genders. So 4 cards came out, 3 of them were of the feminine energy, and they were pretty powerful in themselves. So what we've got, I'm just going to use this one to represent the feminine energy. There were 3 feminine energies. We had the goddess of nurturing, the goddess of magic, and the goddess of rage. So all 3 very different feminine energies. So just a reminder that the feminine can represent also within herself a polarity. So you also have, and I've heard other twin flames talk about this, and it's something I want to explore a lot more about, but there's a polarity within the feminine itself. So not only are the masculine and feminines a polarity, there's a feminine polarity on either side of the different types of feminine. So we have this raging, no holds barred, like I don't have to make excuses for myself. I'm just me. I'm who I am. I'm bold. I don't answer to anyone. I'm just gonna, I'm in my power. This kind of doesn't matter whether I'm angry. I don't have to be a nice girl. Like we've got this energy happening here, and then on the other extreme, I guess, polarity on the other side, you could say we've got the kind of nice girl who is possibly more of a mother role, or just that really soft, gentle feminine that if someone came in injured, they would take care of you and wrap you in warmth and give you some hot soup and mop your brow and just talk to you gently and softly, and you'd feel so at peace. So, we all need those energies within us, ourselves, and it's not that one is masculine or feminine. There's that can both be feminine. There's also the goddess of magic. So this is just a reminder to the magic that we have learnt is all about the power of love and the vibration of love, and learning about vibration, how energy moves, the frequencies, how that's related to how your experience of the world is. And so that's really what magic is, because then you become a real creator and a manifester, and you're able to play with the energy a little bit more when you're more conscious of yourself. So this is kind of more of that wisdom energy. Now, I'm not reading this off the cards, I'm just kind of channeling it direct. So I hope this is kind of giving you an accurate sort of explanation about what these energies are. So then we had the 4th card, which was the one and only masculine. So it just goes to show how much of the feminine energy is very kind of almost dominant right now, and that is around rebalancing, because there's been a dominance and over-dominance of masculine energy on the planet, and we're now needing to find that more of a feminine. What is the feminine? Explore the feminine in ourselves and within the genders and each other. So the masculine card we got was God of Transformation. So that kind of says it all, really, and we've kind of known this all the way along, and all the other readers and twin flame, people that talk about the twin flame journey constantly talk about the transformation process that the masculine is having to go through. Now, I'm sort of seeing, it might not even be right because my eyesight's pretty bad, and I haven't got my glasses on, but I'm kind of energy of this God is that he's had to go through a lot of pain and suffering, and he's actually quite exhausted. He's kind of been bandaged up, but his bandages are kind of falling off, and he's battle worn. He's really battle worn, battle heavy, battle scarred, and he's kind of about ready to give up, I guess you could say. But as we've always known, the masculine have been trained very much to not give up, because that's a sign of weakness. You never give up. You carry on. You show up. You even when you don't feel like it, you've got to be tough. You've got to be there. You've got to be disciplined, and there's a lot of pressure in that. And so for many masculines, they're kind of really just at a point where they just don't care anymore whether how people perceive them, whether they're perceived as weak or not. It's not going to matter. They just need a rest. They just need a... I think I'm not hearing this word correctly because it's coming through as retribution, but it's not retribution. It's it's like rest and restoration. There's a kind of a restoration process going on, and I guess in some ways that's what a transformation is. So it's like, like sometimes they put covers over those buildings and you can't see them, what's going on behind the scenes, and because there's all this construction work going on, it's really messy and you don't want to see that part of it. And then finally they're ready to take off the curtain of the cover of this, renovation that's been going on, and there's this whole new building. And it's like, wow, and everybody wants to go and have a look at it, and everyone's like, wow. And it's always good because we always need to kind of change ourselves and update ourselves. And so that masculine energy is going through a major overhaul. And I guess we've been in a stage where they've been under the covers a bit with the scaffolding on, and getting all kind of repainted and rewired and all the plumbing done and all the new modern updated versions of everything. So that's kind of where the masculine's at. I hope that helps. That was just a little bit of an energy extra for Christmas, my special Christmas gift to you, and for the special Christmas 2020 12/12 edition. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, and thank you so much for listening. Share this video if you like, and subscribe, and come and hang out with me a bit more in the new year, and we'll see what's going to happen. Okay, bye for now.